Liverpool's title defence suffered another damaging blow as a chaotic 6-goal thriller at Elland Road ended in a dramatic 3-3 draw, with Leeds United twice coming from behind to deny Arne Slot's side a victory that was firmly within their grasp. What began as a routine second half for the champions quickly unravelled into controversy, frustration, and late heartbreak, and the Premier League Match Centre have already moved to clarify one of the game's biggest talking points: the penalty that brought Leeds back to life. Liverpool had stormed into a 2-0 lead within the opening 5 minutes of the second half, thanks to a Hugo Ekitike brace the £125 million arrival starting ahead of Mohamed Salah and Alexander Isak, both benched once again as Slot continues to rotate his attacking options. The Frenchman, who had gone 8 league games without a goal, punished a loose back pass from Joe Rodon, before bundling in a second moments later from Connor Bradley's cross, the goal allowed to stand after a brief VAR check. At that stage, Liverpool looked entirely in control, with Leeds struggling to create chances and Elland Road subdued. But the turning point came when Ibrahima Konate lunged into a sliding challenge on Wilfried Gnonto inside the box. Referee Anthony Taylor initially waved play on, but VAR advised a review, and after checking the pitchside monitor, he overturned the decision. The Premier League Match Centre later issued a statement confirming the decision, saying Liverpool number 5 makes a careless challenge, the ball is in play. Therefore, my final decision is penalty kick. Gary Neville, on commentary duty, felt there was little room for argument, calling Konate's challenge really rash and clumsy, adding that the defender wiped him out and left the officials with no choice. Dominic Calvert-Lewin made no mistake from the spot, and suddenly momentum and noise swung dramatically. Orally 2 minutes later, Liverpool unravelled again. Leeds moved the ball sharply through midfield, and Anton Stach powered home the equaliser, sparking a wave of belief that had felt impossible just 10 minutes earlier. Slot's frustration was visible, and the Liverpool bench fell silent as the home side sensed another famous Elland Road comeback. Liverpool did regain the lead when Dominik Szoboszlai finished calmly after a swift counter-attack, the Hungarian's celebration showing both relief and aggression, a release of weeks of scrutiny over his output further up the pitch. But even that wasn't enough. With 9 minutes of added time showing and tension rising, Liverpool failed to clear a corner, and substitute Tanaka slammed home a dramatic 96th minute equaliser, completing another twist in a match that had shifted wildly in tone and tempo. Liverpool will feel this was avoidable. The first half had been cagey 13 attempts between the two sides, but not one on target. Curtis Jones clipped the crossbar with a long-range effort, and Virgil van Dijk headed over Szoboszlai's delivery, but the pattern was familiar and worrying. Slot's side have now failed to score before half-time. In 10 of their 15 league fixtures, only Nottingham Forest have a worse record. Yet the way Liverpool allowed a dominant position to collapse will concern their manager far more than another slow opening. Defensive lapses, loss of composure after VAR involvement, and failure to manage chaotic phases of the match left them exposed, and Leeds were ruthless enough to exploit it. For Daniel Farke's side, the result felt like a reward for resilience and belief. After taking Manchester City to the brink and beating Chelsea, Leeds have shown they are capable of far more than survival scraps. Tanaka's late strike lifted the stadium into full eruption, and may yet prove vital in the relegation battle. Liverpool, however, walk away with regret and bruised confidence. 3 games now without starting Salah, a defensive unit prone to costly errors, and a midfield struggling to control games in key moments, leave Slot with rising questions and shrinking margins. On a night full of momentum swings, officiating drama and emotional extremes, the only certainty was the final whistle. Feeling vastly different for each club, Leeds celebrated a point that felt like a victory. Liverpool left knowing it should have been 3 and may prove to be 2 drops they can ill afford. Liverpool are preparing for Wednesday night's Premier League clash, with high-flying Sunderland at Anfield, though Arne Slot will once again be without several key players as the Reds attempt to build on their much-needed win over West Ham. Slot confirmed in his Tuesday press conference that Connor Bradley has returned to team training for the first time, but is still some distance from being match-ready, while Jeremy Frimpong is expected to rejoin the group next week, after recovering from the muscle problem that has sidelined him since October. Both players have missed a run of games that forced Slot to improvise at right back, using Dominic Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones and Joe Gomez in the position across recent fixtures, and their absence has left Liverpool navigating a congested period with limited defensive options. Slot stressed that Bradley's reintegration would be handled with care, while Frimpong is set to miss at least 3 more games despite progressing well. Long-term casualty Giovanni Leoni remains unavailable after tearing his ACL earlier in the season, an injury suffered shortly after his impressive debut. Slot admitted the young defender has been in a difficult place, as he faces around a year on the sidelines, describing the setback as particularly cruel for a player adapting to a new country and league. Liverpool's opponents are facing issues of their own, with Sunderland manager Regis Lebris confirming that Mohamedou Habib Diarra remains out following groin surgery, while Noah Siddiqui is expected to feature despite suffering a painful facial injury in their dramatic win over Bournemouth. Dennis Sirkin and Leo Hjelde, meanwhile, are nearing full fitness after featuring for the under-21s. Wednesday's matchup arrives at a pivotal moment for Liverpool, as they seek to determine whether Sunday's win at the London Stadium marked the start of a genuine resurgence, or merely a temporary pause in a difficult run. Their 2-0 victory over West Ham ended a 3-game losing streak and relieved some of the pressure building around Slot, whose bold decision to drop Mohamed Salah and start Alexander Isak paid off when the Swedish forward scored his first Premier League goal for the club. Cody Gakpo's late strike sealed the result, though controversy surrounded Lucas Paqueta's red card, which tilted the contest in Liverpool's favour. Slot afterwards insisted Salah still has a major role to play, but the Egyptian's omission only fueled speculation as the Reds try to re-establish momentum. Liverpool enter the fixture 8th in the table, just 3 points behind third-place Chelsea and within touching distance of the top 4. Yet Sunderland arrive on Merseyside with confidence soaring after a historic victory. Lebris' side overturned a 2-0 deficit to beat Bournemouth 3-2 at the Stadium of Light, marking the first time in 188 attempts the club has come from 2 goals down to win a Premier League match. Their performances this season have stunned many, keeping them 6th in the table and above Manchester United, Liverpool, Tottenham and Newcastle, while matching Brighton's tally. That form, combined with their energy and ambition, makes them one of the most dangerous newly promoted sides the league has seen in years. Liverpool's own record against promoted teams at Anfield is formidable, 12 straight league wins, but Sunderland's resilience, intensity and ability to score late have ensured Slot's squad are under no illusions about the threat they pose. The Reds remain favourites, but Wednesday's encounter is set against the backdrop of injuries, selection dilemmas, and the need to prove the West Ham result was more than a brief reprieve. With Bradley and Frimpong still unavailable, and Salah's role under renewed scrutiny, Slot enters the match balancing optimism with caution, as Liverpool attempt to climb back toward the Premier League summit while navigating one of the league's most surprising contenders.